Hello class, my name is Bria Salazar and today I'm going to be presenting on the organization improvement recommendation for my case. So a quick overview of what I'll be talking about today. So I'll begin with the organization analysis, talking about the current situation, some of the interview questions that were mentioned, interviewee identification, and analysis of the interviews flowchart that was created to sample the process, survey questions, the sample population used, data analysis that was identified, the interview findings, and then a to-be process flowchart that's created from these findings, along with a list of recommendations, and to end with the appendices. So the organization analysis. So the organization I decided to choose is one that I am affiliated with as of today. And this one is going to be Trader Joe's. And Trader Joe's is a neighborhood grocery store and chain in the US. This store has daily deliveries. Fresh groceries and necessities are given to those in need. And we provide a friendly, unique, and fun environment for our shoppers to experience. So a little bit about the current situation. So right now, as an order writer, I am experiencing trouble getting the correct product that I need. This can be due to a lot of different things. And so the main issue is that the delivery process and order and manifest guides will come with the incorrect product or maybe not even the product at all. So I'm seeking to ensure that the correct product is provided. And by doing this, we can ensure that items move from the truck to shelf in a timely manner for customers to shop. And this can be done with the use of help of new systems and the help of technology. So I have some interview questions that I'll be asking my interviewees. The first is, what are some of the reasons as to why incorrect deliveries occur? What are some of the methods that can be instilled in working processes to ensure that the correct deliveries are made? And what kind of resources and tools can we utilize to help ensure that the efficiency of our process implementations? So I want to get a little bit more of a better understanding on how others think. And by doing this, this might create open doors and opportunities for us to knowledge share in order for us to be able to better solve our problem together. So interviewee identification. The first interviewee belongs within the management level. The second is a regular crew member, and both are extremely associated with the receiving process of the morning delivery, so that's why I decided to go with them, because it associates more towards the morning. The analysis of the interviews. So within the interviews, I mostly found a why. I asked why, and my interviewees were quick to say that sometimes the problem isn't in our control. Sometimes it happens because the warehouse makes mistakes and they send the incorrect product because the wrong sticker is on the product. There's ordering errors as well. Sometimes people mispunch things and they'll order some things that they don't need. There's also delays. Sometimes trucks don't always come on the time that they're supposed to, and so we get delayed deliveries. And there can be working errors. Some people might end up stacking the product elsewhere where it's not found, so people think it's not there when it is there. So things like that make it easy to know the other considerations as to what happens. So it's essential that we check the merchandise, that we go over the manifest correctly, and that we use correct product scanners in order to ensure that we're getting the right product. This is the flow chart. This flow chart indicates the processes in which deliveries occur. So initially the delivery arrives at the store. The truck arrives with the paperwork that gets delivered, has everything on it that's supposed to be in store. The manager then signs off of the delivery. The hand trucks get delivered, and then the product pallets get taken off of the truck and placed onto the sales floor. If an incorrect pallet arrives, the pallet gets loaded onto the truck. Then from there, product gets broken down on the floor. Manifest gets checked off. If it happens to be that that incorrect product was found, or maybe it wasn't tallied, then we need to notify our managers, and they notify the warehouse so that we're being charged the correct amount for everything that we're ordering. If the manifests get checked off without any hassles, that then moves to get broken down, and then from the pallet, the product gets put onto the shelf, and people are able to shop then. In order to grasp a better understanding of how others feel about the morning process as well, I've decided to interview a few crew members using a sample survey. This is a random draw. This isn't something that anyone was particularly named to or had to do. However, I'm going to be using the Likert scale ranging from completely disagree to disagree, neutral, agree, and completely agree. So the first question is, TJ's opening process is effective. Second is, the use of manual manifest checks are correct in product arrival confirmation. Third is, TJ's can work towards instilling better check-in processes. Fourth, TJ's has the proper tools and resources to enhance check-in processes. 5, the use of check-in tools will help ensure the correct product has arrived. 6, I have the support to ensure products have arrived. 7, TJ's is seeking out ways to enhance the delivery process. And lastly, 8, I'm confident in my ability to recall manual manifest checks. As mentioned before, the sample population is going to include quite a few crew members. It's going to be 15 crew members. These crew members have experienced morning and night shifts. And this survey will be administered through paper just because it's a little bit easier for me to pass around. The use of random sampling will occur. In terms of the data analysis, after giving these interviews and random samples, I will be analyzing the data based upon the agreeableness of it all. The main thing that I want to take away from this is being able to know how we can better our processes so that we can succeed more often than not. It provides a different perspective, and this is ultimately to initiate change systems that will carry on and progress in the future. And the use of diagrams will be involved as well. So I'm going to dive into the interview findings. So within the interview findings, it starts off with whether the interviewees believe that the TJ's opening process is effective. As shown, most say yes, and mostly yes, meaning that most crew members felt that it is an effective process the way things are going now. The second was whether the use of the manual manifest checks are correct in product arrival confirmation, and mostly yes was the result that we got. Some were able to say no, some mostly agreed, disagree, and some felt that the manifest checks were not in the correct usage confirmation. So moving forward to questions 3 and 4, this was a count on how TJs can work to instill better check-in processes. So this is whether the crew members believe that TJs is employing these types of processes, and most of them felt that yes, that they are trying to better them. One thing is whether the crew members also felt that Trader Joe's has the proper tools and resources to enhance check-in processes, and yes and mostly yes were the answers that were received. I think that this is true, as there are multiple scanners at the store. However, personally, in my opinion, I feel like if they really wanted to implement this type of change, they would have to give their crew members more equipment in order to ensure that they'll be successful in implementing this step in. Now for questions 5 and 6, this one is whether the use of check-in tools will help ensure the correct product has arrived. Yes and mostly yes were the reactions we got from that. And then whether crew members feel that they have the support to ensure that the products have arrived, with many saying yes, mostly yes, some either not agreeing or disagreeing. So more so there is support than there isn't. And again, reiterating that TJ's needs to implement these tools in order to better support their employees and make them feel like they can be set up for success. Now for questions 7 and 8, this is asking whether Trader Joe's is seeking out ways to enhance the delivery process. And so the recordings were figured as yes and mostly yes, as well as whether crew members believe in their capabilities and confidence in their ability to recall manual manifest checks. This one, by far, out of all the survey questions, was one that we got the most a difference in response for, with yes, mostly no, neither yes or no. I think that many of the crew members feel that Trader Joe's is making an effort to enhance these delivery processes. However, in the long run, if this isn't implemented in the right way, it can create more confliction and more issues in the long run. And when the correct product isn't accounted for, this leads us to incorrect sales, which is not good for the company. Now, at the beginning of the presentation, there was a process flow chart that charted how exactly everything is done currently, and this new chart is going to emphasize what is all going to happen. So the first couple of steps within this are going to be the same. However, when it gets to the products being taken off of the truck, the product is immediately going to come off of the truck onto the pallets, and it's going to move immediately to a scanning process. So within this is going to require more patience and more time off the crew members' hands. And so this is going to add a new step that currently is trying to be implemented, however has not been effectively implemented to its full capacity. And so this is to ensure, again, that all the product is getting to the store at the right time and that it's actually there and it's shown on the manifest as well. This is also a security and double check for manifest, so to make sure that all the product indicated on the manifest is within the store at that time. And so this will take time to implement. However, if Trader Joe's can do this successfully within the San Dimas region store, then they will be able to see more positivity in terms of their product count. Now, after analyzing a lot of the information that was given from the survey, there was a list of recommendations that were given and seen. So the first is that ensuring that all crew members are aware of the new step. With a store that has well over 80 to 90 employees, it can be very difficult to relay information. However, as long as communication is very thorough, all members, especially those that are working in the mornings, can be notified of the different processes and changes that are happening within the opening sections. This will also require the store to go paperless. So without the use of with the use of scanners, we will no longer need to use paper manifests, which means that we don't have to check off the list with pens. So that will require a new process. This will also maybe give more opportunity for crew members to support others because of the time that it might take. It might take a little bit longer to ensure that the product is there. However, as long as we ensure that it's there, it's always something to add on to a process. This can also be an opportunity for management to see if they can offer some type of training to get everyone involved and to know how to actually work the scanners. Sometimes that can take a while. And they may even go as far as assigning designated people to scan items so that maybe their task is prioritizing just scanning the items rather than scanning them and then putting them in places where they need to be staged in order to be shelved onto the shelf in the sales floor. And lastly, to complete, I have the appendices here at the end. Thank you so much for listening.